You're watching Lore of the Internet, and here are 20 of the most illogical breakdowns by kids. My son was basically upset I missed the tantrum he had started to throw for Grandpa. He was doing his face in the carpet, kicking feet over the top, fake crying when I guessed he realized he was missing something. So he came upstairs, grabbed my hand, huffed and puffed angrily while walking me directly next to Grandpa, totally positioned me for the show, and got right back into meltdown mode, looking up every so often to make sure we were still watching it. I asked my dad what initially set him off though. He said he shut off his own show and didn't know what else to do. I'm a nanny and we are driving home from preschool. Enters neighborhood. Him, you said we were going home. Me, we are. Him, no, this is not my house. Me, I know, but we are driving there. Him, this isn't the way to my house. Pulls up to the house. Me, see, child, we are here. Him, this is not my house. He repeats screaming and crying for about 15 minutes as I try to prove it is his house via his animals and room and toys. Nothing worked. I actually became paranoid that this was not his house, and I ran into some stranger's house with the same pets. The child got into my head. Wasn't exactly a full-blown tantrum, but still nonsensical. 3-year-old, why did doctors have eyes? Me, eyes or ice, thinking maybe he was going to make sense. Silly me. 3-year-old, eyes? Like I'm the idiot. Me, because they're human beings? 3-year-old, no, why do they have eyes? Me, so they can see? 3-year-old, no, why? Like, what answer do you want, man? The question doesn't even make sense. I don't even want to admit how long this went on. I blew up a glove to make a balloon and drew a turkey face on it. 2-year-old screaming hysterically, make it not a balloon! Me pokes a hole in it to let the air out. No, the turkey is dead, no! Rage screams for 40 minutes. Yesterday, our youngest son, about 1.5 years old, had a meltdown because I wouldn't let him pour his apple juice on the cat. I saw him start to do it, grabbed his cup, and he just looked at me with a mixture of anger and sadness and cried, bath, for about 10 minutes. Our cat is amazing with children, but even she wouldn't appreciate an apple juice bath. I teach English as a second language to mostly very young children. The parents are usually present while we work. I asked one of my 5-year-olds when her birthday was, and she said, and I quote, December, and I am not happy. Apparently her cake was too small. I think she might have had cupcakes instead of a regular cake, judging by how hard her dad started laughing as soon as she said it. They'd been hearing it regularly for the past month and a half. With toddlers, you quickly learn how to say non-acknowledgements like, oh yeah, and wow, that's interesting. Because a good chunk of what they say is nonsensical. Earlier today, I was driving to the store, and from his seat in the back, my toddler yelled at me, I want the Biv, and then proceeded to melt down about the Biv. I attempted to figure out what in the world he was talking about, but I had no luck. What is a Biv? I don't know what you're talking about. Can you point at it? What is a Biv? He paused for a moment, and then admitted reluctantly, I forgot the word. I still don't know what he was talking about. He loved being tickled, so when I was tickling him one day, he let out a huge fart and suddenly started crying and screaming. I ask him why he's screaming and he replies with, I was saving that for later. How and why would you save a fart? Her paintbrush wasn't green. Mind you, there was a green paintbrush available within reach, but the fact that the one in her hand wasn't green was a problem, and I can't make this one green for you was unacceptable. She did eventually relent and decide it was okay to just pretend the red one was green. My niece is 1.5. She was walking while holding a small bowl of cereal. No milk, just dry cereal. A piece of cereal drops out of the bowl and hits the floor. She stops dead in her tracks, looks down at the single piece of cereal on the floor, and immediately drops the entire bowl of cereal. Every morning with my 2-year-old. Do you want to go to the park? Yeah, play dirt. Okay, go to the door for shoes and jacket. No, stay home. But do you want to go to the park and play in the sandbox? Yeah. Okay, so we need to get shoes and get in the car. No. Full meltdown follows, and repeat this exchange for another 5 minutes until he realizes that we can't both stay home and go to the park simultaneously, then repeat it again when leaving the park. When my nephew was a toddler, he asked my sister if she drank soda while she was pregnant with him. She said that she did have a glass or two, and then he freaked out and cried for an hour because babies can't drink Dr. Pepper and it's not healthy, only milk. They got him settled down and he asked if she ate Cheez-Its when she was pregnant. She said, oh no, babies only drink milk, so I didn't eat Cheez-Its. He cried harder because I would have probably liked to have some Cheez-Its. Meltdown for another hour. I wouldn't let her put crayons in my ear. full on dropping to the ground, wailing and sobbing like I'd killed our cat in front of her. I would tell her we don't put stuff in our ears, which would make her sob louder. Thankfully, she's a young toddler and easily distracted, so it only lasted a few minutes. So my daughter and I were getting ice cream from the drive-thru. All of a sudden, she starts crying hysterically about how she doesn't want to be long. I'm trying to figure out what she's talking about, so I asked her what she means by long, and she points at her feet. I don't get it. And she starts throwing a fit because she doesn't want to be long. It clicks, and I ask her, "You mean long like me and mommy?" And she says, "Yeah, I like being little." She didn't want to grow up and be boring like an adult. Wisdom beyond her years, that one. Peanut: "Mom, do cats always won?" Me: "Yeah, I guess so." Peanut: "Not satisfied, no. Do cats won?" Me: entirely fucking confused. "Yeah, they win some and they lose some." Peanut: frustrated, tears streaming down her face. "No. Do cats won?" Me: "Calm down. Don't get frustrated. I'm just trying to figure out what you're saying." Peanut: "Won." Me: "Also me, can you use the word in a sentence so I can try to figure out what you're saying?" Peanut: "Sometimes you walk and sometimes you..." Me: "Oh, run." Yeah, cats run. Hell of a 5 minutes, let me tell you. You like dykes? We are dog sitting, and anytime this dog sticks its tongue out, my 4-year-old starts gagging and puking. Apparently, the cute golden doodle's tongue is so vile that for 2 weeks now, she gags on or full-on pukes every time she sees it. 2 weeks left until this dog leaves, and it's basically an eternity. Edited to add, I genuinely love that you're all trying to figure out solutions or better reasons for this, but honestly, she's just a dramatic 4-year-old. Nothing happened that caused this to start, him licking her, etc. His breath isn't bad, our dog is worse, and so on. It's simple. The dog has 2 small black birthmarks on her tongue. She understands this and knows what a birthmark is. She's just dramatic and grossed out by them. 2 weeks left. We've gotten pretty good at keeping him at bay when she's eating or has eaten recently. A little late, but my 2-year-old decided that his dad was a cartoon dad on TV and called him my second dad. So when his real dad came home from work, my son went to say, "Hi daddy," got all angry and threw a complete temper tantrum because he didn't want to call him daddy anymore. That is, his real dad needed a new name since he wanted the TV dad to be his real dad, aka first dad, because TV dad had a pet lemur. Yes, there was a show with 2 men and a fake lemur. Anyways, this went on for weeks, my son throwing a fit every time he forgot and called his daddy, daddy. He threw a fit when dad tucked him in, played with him, gave him a bath, read him a story because he wanted second dad to do these things, and it was a rough couple of weeks. Not to mention trying to explain to my husband that it wasn't a man coming over in the daytime pretending to be my son's dad. Yeah, rough couple of weeks. About a week ago, my 3-year-old asked for cereal, so I said, "Okay, but first you need to put away your puzzle." She had a puzzle on the floor. She started taking it apart and putting it away while I poured her cereal and put it on the table. I then made the huge mistake of trying to help her finish putting the puzzle away so she could get her cereal. She freaked out, screaming, "No, Mama, I know how to do that. I was doing it." Melted to the ground and cried for a solid 3 minutes. I was mystified. My 2-year-old loves the show Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is a cartoon show about a tiger who lives in Mr. Rogers' land of make-believe. You know, with the trolley, King Friday, Lady Elaine. Anyways, the doctor who lives in Daniel Tiger's town is called Dr. Anna. In the show, Daniel has visited Dr. Anna several times. Whenever my daughter is hurt, even just a bump, she asks to see Dr. Anna. When we try to tell her she's not real and is only Daniel's doctor, she cries hysterically and says, "Dr. Anna is real. Go see Dr. Anna. Need to go to Dr. Anna's house." We've gone round and round on this for hours several times and can't seem to get it through to her that she can't go visit a cartoon doctor. We had plastic cups in several different colors, 2 of each color. He wanted the orange cup, so I poured his milk into an orange cup. No, he wanted the other, identical orange cup. Took the same kid shoe shopping and he wanted these god-awful teal Reeboks. He has to fit because he loves these shoes. Okay, whatever, pick your battles. We get home and open the box and melts down because he didn't want these shoes. He's 27 now with 4 kids of his own. When he tells me about the crazy shit they get upset over, I just laugh. Karma, kid. Sweet, sweet karma. Thank you for watching Lore of the Internet, and if you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe, and if you've had any instances of kids with really illogical breakdowns, be sure to share them in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you in the next episode.